precious and for us to stop wasting our time on things that just don't matter, that are just trivial, and really begin to smell the roses and understand that, wow, we were put here for a purpose and we're here to love one another and we're here to literally enjoy life and be the best that we can be.
Yeah, and I want to add to that well, I don't want to ever lead through like a fear-based mindset of like what is going to happen in the future potentially, because I think that whenever you live in fear, it's not productive for the nervous system or for creativity. But the only takeaway from that is that you need to always live in the moment, and you need to realize that you can say like, oh, I want to do this 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road, but that's a really bad mindset to have. We have to understand that we're part of the greatest time period that's ever existed, where technologies merge with higher consciousness and advancements in our culture in a way that I don't think they've ever existed. Now, that's my personal opinion, is that I think Atlantis had some technological aspects, but I don't think it was like us. And I think that what we've achieved here in this world, personally, in my opinion, has never really existed here before. And it's something new. It's something that is going to shake everything up in a way where we don't really know what's going to come down the road. Are we able to prevent our own destruction because we now have the technological and knowledge means to do it? Yes, I think so. And I don't think we're going to go down that road of having to reset and starting over again, because that's not how the Kali Yuga cycles work. We already know that. We already know. Listen, this is how it works. Ages always have to follow cyclical energy. Polarity, duality, it's a constant. It's one of the cosmic laws in the universe. Kali Yuga cycles come out of ancient India, so these ancient Vedic cultures that understood that you could map these cycles. You could literally map it and be like, oh, by the way, when your ancestors are like so and so years old, you guys are going to be doing this. And they understood, though, that those cycles are so defined that even the Maya calendar is like mimicking in the same similar way, where they're mapping ages and they're mapping what's going to happen in ages. Well, where are we right now? How about we start, where were we? That's the best thing to start. When Atlantis existed here, you see this idea of super civilizations, highly advanced temples and megalithic stuff all over the world, everywhere. It's like a chapter that was lost in time. That's called the Golden Age. It means that we literally reach the highest level that we can. Now, what's that highest level? I don't think the highest level is technological. Their level of being advanced was just different. They were organically advanced. They understood how to use specific stones that had a magnetic component that was perfectly aligned with certain silica components of quartz, where they could create like a harmonic resonance structure that like maps out and binds with not only this harmonic aspect of heaven, the earth, moon, and the sun, but also star constellations like Orion and Sirius, where you create this synergy. We have no comprehension of that. If anything, we're actually pretty dumb compared to what they understood. You look at Hermes and all the hermeticism and the teachings they left behind. People don't think like that now. No. People don't talk like that. People need to, but they don't, which means that no, we're actually far less sophisticated in our mental capacities and our higher level understanding of things, but they weren't. They had mapped it out and they had mastered reality. Mastered it. What is mastering reality? Well, it would mean you'd have to have a perfect cohesive balance of your advancement would have to also be perfectly balanced with the harmonic balance of the earth, so that you didn't destroy your world and then become an empire that's unsustainable. See, economic growth of a civilization is always going to be inherently limited by its insatiable need to grow and be unsustainable. And that's always its greatest destruction. Empires are always unsustainable. The only way you can have civilizations that can emerge and be long lasting is if they develop a harmonic balance with the earth. And that's what they had all over the world. Ancient earth grids, temples in specific locations that were on what are called ley lines, where they were balancing, I believe, the earth grid, the entire earth grid here, because they knew that our earth goes through very violent time periods that had to do with Milankovitch cycles, that had to do with the sun, coronal mass ejections, outer galactic things. They understood that all those things play such a critical role that you can't take a hands-off approach. You can't be like, oh, I'm just going to build this civilization and hope that nothing happens. They didn't think like that at all. They knew that their ancestors had gone through a previous destruction. That's what the original Sumerian narrative comes from, is another destruction that was not the Younger Dryas. It was a whole nother cycle. So they knew very well what happens here. And they safeguarded that by doing something very specific, I think, by creating a grid system around the world to balance it so that it can never be destroyed again. But what happened? Well, it looks like the Younger Dryas catastrophes were so
Yeah.
severe that, give you an example, go to the Serapeum in Saqqara, Egypt, and go look at that whole area of these giant granite boxes. There are multi-tons that have no one in them. Some of them were found exploded, like blown up. And
Yeah.
if you're thinking of energy with these pyramids that are aligning, and by the way, I think the central node of that whole energy grid was Giza. I think the three pyramids of Giza was the central point of the entire grid that then connected everywhere. But imagine if
Yeah.
that is, then if you have an overwhelm of energy, like an explosion of energy, like in a bad way, like the poles are shifting, the balance is all out of whack, everything's going crazy. You imagine that kind of energy trying to be balanced through Giza, but like exploding. Like you can't hold it any longer, and the whole grid collapses everywhere in the world. And then all the
Right.
tectonic plates start shifting, and then it's like the end of the world. It's like that Tibetan monk sitting on the cliff, like waiting for the end, because he knows that it's just the end for now. It's not the end for good. It's the end of that story. But the reason I told you that whole thing is that that's how the Golden Age ended. It ended in catastrophe that destroyed all these ancient civilizations, and then whatever sages survived and whatever made it with their structures are able to leave telltale signs and the messages and the stories so that we can find our way home. Look at us now. We build with metal, and we build with brick, and we build with very like primitive things in the sense of longevity. Glass and metal, they would disappear just in a few hundred years if we didn't maintain them. So if you were going to talk about advancement, how about a civilization that knows how to make structures that can last more than 20,000 years, to last to the end of time, to the ends of time, to be a benchmark and a memory of what we once were and what we can be once again.
Phenomenal. You laid it out, man. And, I don't want to add on too much to that, but that Younger Dryas really, wow, what an incredible destruction that happened during the Younger Dryas. And the evidence of it, you can see it inside the Sphinx enclosure at the, on the Giza Plateau. You can see the weathering patterns in the enclosure, in the wall, how you can see thousands of different striations going from the top to the bottom. And depending on the thickness of that weathering, you can tell how many decades, you can almost calculate how many decades of time had gone by that water was in the enclosure. And we know now that the Great Sphinx is much older, and we know that water most likely came from that Younger Dryas impact, which then created huge flooding, which came down through that region. I mean, there's just so much has been lost over time. And that's why, the book that we wrote is very important. I believe that this information, these are little time capsules for people to discover and learn about what happened in the ancient past. I'm going to drop the link in the chat here. We hadn't dropped it the whole entire show. We got so caught up teaching, we didn't get a chance to to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link in here right quick in the live chat.
Let me
Give
add,
the people an opportunity.
let me add something to what you just said, Billy. I think is really important. I think it's good that we can, if we're going to keep giving these history lessons, I think we should keep doing it right now. And one of those is, well, what about that story? Like, how did that, when we're discussing, like, how did this whole alternative understanding of lost civilizations where did it come from? How did it start? It actually started with the Sphinx enclosure. If people don't know how this all began, go back to the 1980s. Nobody was really talking about lost civilizations except Posnanski, who visited Tiwanaku. He was like one of the only ones. He noticed that the Sphinx enclosure around the Sphinx, it was not wind erosion like we're told over time with wind blowing through, but it was actually water erosion. And he ended up working with Robert Bauval to get an actual geologist named Robert Schoch to fly over to Egypt and be like, look, is this really wind erosion? Because why would it matter? Well, Egypt is an extremely dry, arid region. Like barely even rains. In fact, Aswan is one of the driest places on earth. It doesn't even like really, sometimes it goes years and years without even raining a drop. Then how can you have structures that have water erosion if it doesn't rain? And when did it last rain? And was it rain or was it flooding? It doesn't really matter. When did something have the ability to create large-scale water erosion? If people don't know, if you're living in a mountainous landscape, and let's say you get torrential thunderstorms, I mean torrential, it's flooding everywhere, that still is not necessarily going to leave a lot of erosion. It's a quick event. To leave extensive erosion on a geologic structure like a limestone sedimentary stone, you would have to have extensive amounts of interaction with that water, running across it for long periods of time to then create striations that we now know of as water erosion. So Robert Schoch comes over and he's like, I'm on the fence. Let's see, guys. I'm a scientist, so I'm going to be really objective about this. But he was not even interested. Like, he wasn't already on board with that concept of it being older. That's what's fascinating about scientists, is if they already are coming in with like a bit of a skeptical nature, but they're still open-minded enough to be able to not ignore what's in front of them. So Robert Schoch comes over, meets up with John Anthony West and Robert Bauval, because I think this history lesson needs to be well established. And Robert's looking at the walls, and he's like, he spends like a whole day or multiple days, and he's like, that without a doubt is water erosion. And he ended up writing papers, and it blew up, like exploded. And scientists viciously attacked Robert Schoch for that. At the same time, Graham Hancock was growing in those fields. An alliance was being forged. An alliance around the world of the thinkers and scientists, and I call it thinkers because not everybody's got an academic degree in this, like myself. All these thinkers and scientists, they're starting to come together everywhere. It's like this slow trickle where one after another starts to join, and now it's like a tsunami. Right now, in this moment we're in a time, right now, we are having archaeologists and geologists and scientists come together for the first time ever to say, look, these ancient civilizations and these structures, they're not in that 6,000 year window at all. We know that now. Like, it's not, everybody acknowledges Göbekli Tepe has been radiocarbon dated to 11,600 years old. That already doubles that age of civilization. Throw the whole narrative out of the water. We have to start over again. And we're right now in the infancy of recreating our timeline with experts and scientists to finally acknowledge that the entire story of what we know of our history is wrong, and that we have to rewrite this entire thing to encompass not a 6,000 year civilization window, but like a 50,000 or more year window of civilization. And that's what is so exciting about living right now. Ignore all that silly distraction and fear and war. That's just humanity going through the dark night of its soul into Aquarius. That's all. It's nothing. All of its distractions. We are on the cusp of greatness right now with discoveries and understandings that haven't happened in thousands of years. It truly is that term, the awakening here of higher consciousness.
Yep. Man, Matt, you put it so beautifully. And on that note, we're going to end. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Make sure you guys get our book. The book is The Epic of Humanity. You should read this book. And one thing that's amazing about this book, this is a reference book. The whole book is a reference. The book itself, page by page, it gives you the name of the text. It gives you the record of the ancient historical fact. It gives you an excerpt from that ancient record, whether it's a cylinder scroll, a papyrus, whether it's a scripture, whatever it is, it's all referenced on each and every individual page. So every page, you can say, oh, they're talking about the Mahabharata. And there's an excerpt. You can read that excerpt, and then you can say, you know what, this is really interesting. I want to go get the whole entire Mahabharata and read the whole thing for myself.
Exactly.
I want to go get the myth of Adapa. I want to go get and read, all these different texts that we have in here. And now you've got the excerpt. You have enough to pique your interest and to begin to paint a picture. And now because this is a book of sources, you now can say, you know what, I want to go get this entire thing. I want to go find out more about the book of Enoch or whatever we've referenced in here, right? And it gives you a start, because a lot of people just haven't had the time and maybe just didn't have the knowledge of what even the titles of some of these ancient texts, scriptures, papyruses, cylinder scrolls, what they were, and now you have them. So you can get the Epic of Humanity. You can follow along the journey. You can see Matt's incredible timetable in here. And then you yourself can become a great researcher as well and begin to spread knowledge around the world.
And let me just add one last thing to that, Billy, is that I understand people don't have time to read. Some of these texts are really long. Even the cuneiform tablets are multiple tablets. They're long. I understand. We're not all scholars. We don't all have enormous amounts of time. That's why Billy and I have the massive expertise and understanding of studying this for so many years that we've picked out not only the best translators that have done it to be the most accurate for you, so you don't have to worry, but it's also the excerpts from those important parts of those texts that if you want to go expand and read it, you can. But you'll know that if I was to just tell someone, go read the Atrahasis, they're going to get lost in it. They're just going to get lost. But if you point out areas that are specifically about certain things that they can focus on, it then changes the dynamic. And that's why if people to this book encompasses like the greatest of these teachings, not just the greatest teachings, but like the greatest of these teachings, to be all preserved so that humanity can't forget all of what we've grown and put together with the great sages and mystics of our time. That can't disappear. That's the most important thing we have of anything.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So with that being said, thank you. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Again, guys, go get The Epic of Humanity. It's a bestseller on Amazon, and for a very, very good reason. And Matthew and I will be back again to read some more from The Epic of Humanity. All right, we're going to continue to teach and drop some history on you guys and give you a chance to expand upon what it means to be a human being living in this current time, in this era. What does it mean to us, and where can we go? How can we get there? So thanks, Matt. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Billy. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Until next time.
All right, cool. Catch you later, bro.
Mic check, mic check. What's going on, people? How we doing? Mic. You're he. You're he. You're he. There we go. We in the building. Platonic in the building, salute. Lizzo French in the building, salute. My man, infamous grill sniper. Much love, big up. Here and now in the building. Jen, much love. Anto, what's going on? What's going on? Big up. Alki, brother from another. Big up. Much love. Got Creek Mary in the building. We got Creek Mary in the building. Much love. Good stuff. Sister Yemi in the building. So she loved the thumbnail. Hey, come on. Come on. Some people are like, what's that? What's V? Don't get me started on V. That was the shit back in the day, right? That was the shit back in the day. V. Well, I mean, that kind of segues into the topic of the stream, actually. You know, bit of hate. I want to talk about hate today. You know, snakes, Two-Face. But sticking to the topic of hate. Hey, we got my man JT in the building. Let me go drop that link for my man. Real quick. There you go. We got Provo in the building. Much love, Provo. Much love. Wicked. But yeah, hey, that was a good movie, series back in the day. V. Wild, right? I think they was trying to tell us something with V. Right? You know, with Archons and reptilian race, you know, the bloodline. Just the whole dynamic of it, you know. It's they're coming from an off-world place, right, apparently. But they're still coming with a military mindset. Can you imagine that? It's still a military mindset. So are you telling me every planet has got a type of military force? That was wild. It was ahead of its time, V. Hey, brother Talcott.
Blessings to you.
Much love, much love. Thank you for joining.
Man, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure here. It's always beautiful energy here at the Rebuttal Bar, man. It's a hidden secret that should be well known.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I like that. Thank you. Message received.
Amen.
Message received. So yeah, I mean, it's a shame it's one of those topics, you know, but I'm somewhat of the law out here. I take it upon myself to call out the filth, bring them to justice, right? Bring them to justice. But in this case, I just want to talk about some of the filth that I see, you know. People trying to, you know, push a wedge in between people. I've seen people, you know, comment like, why isn't London going after Talcott? Why is he cupcaking? You know, like, why ain't London and Z going after Talcott and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of this, Jack. Like, you come to me so correct, right? There's no hate in your message towards me or other people, right? I don't see you putting down people.
No.
And it's like people want me to come at you just for you being you. Look, let me see if I can find something for you, because I don't know, this might make more sense if I show you. 1 second.
Yeah, pull up what you're doing, but I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen it.
Okay.
People want to pick sides, and people want you to pick sides. And,
yeah.
It's interesting.
Oh, where's it gone?
I tried to mention this. I kind of mentioned it. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, when you get it.
All right. Very curious as to why London and Z don't press Jack, even just a little.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean, am I missing something, Jack? Am I supposed to be pressing you? What did you say about me? What did you say about my children, Jack?
I didn't.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
You know what, brother? See, that is it. The question is, why aren't you joining the patterns of others? Wait, what was that? A life coach with no life.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look. 1 second.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even see that one. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Samsomedic has been a pretty vocal fan of mine. Likes to talk about me for sure. These people, man.
They want war. They want to see a division, or not even division. I mean, because there is division anyway. Let's just keep it real. There is division anyway, but
There is.
they're not happy with that. They want to see more carnage. Like, why am I supposed to press Jack? For what reason?
Because
Why is London?
Everybody else does. So
I know. There you go. There you go. Because everybody else does.
Yeah.
Because everybody else, I'm different. I don't do that shit. I only come at people when they come at me. Right. When they come at me. And I only do this type of shit when it concerns me. You know, my name's been mentioned in a sentence there. Why ain't I coming after London? I mean, Brother Talcott. So I need to speak on that. It's not like I'm going out of my way to find out shit to speak on. This is a serious matter. Someone's delusional. They're thinking I should be going after Talcott.
It's brother, this, so they say, the bear your cross. This is what I provoke in my life. People react, and then it's a test and it's a challenge. But see, you and Z, you guys don't fall for, it's not just you two, but you two stand on your own. So it causes confusion for others as well. I'm sure what I'm dealing with, you're dealing with is on your own. People not understanding and jumping to these conclusions, false narratives about you, right? It's part of the role we've found ourselves on.
Definitely. I mean, from what I can see as well, there's too many enablers that allow pettiness and bad vibes to flourish.
That's why places like this, I find this to be kind of an oasis, right? And it's a hidden gem in the sea of insanity that is around us, man. I mean,
there's so much of that.
There's some crazy people, but the thing is, most of them are pretty darn good-hearted too, and that's what's so frustrating. But if I can continue, not to try and bring some clarity to what I'm saying about the oasis, people like you, Z, me, there's many of us, many versions of us and different styles of us. And what I mean by us is we are coming to, we're awake and we're aware and we're seeing the world a little bit different than others. We are the light. We are the new world, right? We are the new ways coming into order. The more the light, those of us who are like minds rising above this nonsense of the world, as we start connecting, just like neurons firing in the brain, man, we're the new ideas. And as we connect, we're going to reinforce the new ideas, and the new ideas are going to take over.
I feel you there. I feel you there. Hey, Sterling Ray, I think different. There is people that want to see Jack living on the street. There is people that want to see the downfall of Jack, the spiral.
Yeah, because then they'll be right.
There you go.
They won't be
there
right.
There you go.
And it's the world, man. The world we're born into. I know. Actually, I do believe even some of the most vicious critics. I believe that. Well, I get their attention because I'm in their hearts. So I think deep down, even they don't want to see me suffer for long. They do want to see me suffer.
Yeah, just so they can say they was right.
Yep.
That's watch you from a distance suffer. Take a quick picture so they got that for evidence, and then come over and say, "Hey, you need some help."
Yeah. Right.
Mm.
I'm trying to tell these people, hey, you could offer that help before this happens. We can help avoid the suffering. No, Jack, you've got to suffer. You've got to go down my pool and you've got to sleep in a tent. And all right. All right, clown boy.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want. That's what they want.
Well,
it's not.
Hey, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say it's not hard to see, just by the things that have been said about you. Like, I didn't realize people really had it in for you like that. You don't even owe these people nothing, and you don't even know them from atoms.
Nope. It's been a very bizarre experience. But you know what? This is the nature of life, and life it's whatever we make of it. And I used to spend a lot of time worrying about things I couldn't control. I've been learning, man. All I got to do is better control me, which reminds me, brother. I mean, you were there yesterday, and I wasn't proud of how I behaved yesterday. What's that?
I didn't say nothing, but I wanted to say now, since you said that, what happened yesterday? How did you act? I forgot who was there. Who joined the panel?
I got triggered. I went back and reviewed it again, and it was. I learned it was Tommy and Margot, those two.
Okay.
Margot has been such a long time adversary for me. And, just having her and Tommy there, I felt like my time was being wasted, and that got me a little resentful, and blah blah. I grew. I'm better today than I was yesterday. That I know already.
That's good. That's good. I mean, even the situation with you and Margot, I don't know it well enough to even speak on it, but just the signs from herself when she enters the chat room, just the things she says to get your attention. Some of the times I think like some of these people don't even know or mean what they're actually putting in the chat. They're just doing it to get a response from the other people around them. That's how I feel like sometimes. But I mean, look, there's a time and a place for everything, right? And some of these people timing is so fucking off. So always off. Right? Yeah. When there's a fire, they never show up. When there's no fire, they come and start spraying shit down.
Yes, right. Oh man.
Terrible.
But this is there's an order and a perfection to everything that happens. And there's something about divine timing, right? I don't know.
Yes, divine timing. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. You know, when they say, I agree with that. You know, like when they say better late than never, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's almost like that divine timing. You know, when someone comes in at the right moment and they saved your life, like, hey, better late than never, my friend. Thank you. You came in when I needed you, man. That's very divine timing right there.
I have witnessed it on more than one occasion, right? Enough occasions that I'm learning to trust it. Faith in God's timing, divine timing. When things are ready to happen, they will. And when it's time for something to happen, there's pretty much no stopping what's going to happen. I mean, if it's in the divine plan, it's going to be. I have faith, man. I have faith that I have a lot of hope and anticipation of what the divine plan might be in the greater world. Not just with me and my life, but with the world that I know, which includes you, all of you guys, man.
I mean, they say, you know, sometimes negativity is needed. It's what it's what makes the world go around. You know, the nefarious words of it, like even with money makes the world go around, right? All of that shit. It's like in an ideal world, right? We wouldn't even want none of that stuff. The money, right? We wouldn't even want that shit. We wouldn't even want the negativity. You know, when they say you need the positive and the negative on a car battery to get it going. I hear that side of it, right?
Sure.
But in my ideal world, you know, it wouldn't even be no need for that negativity or even the money side of it, right?
Amen. I mean, that's the world I see in the future. I know a lot of people resist it, but I don't understand why, to be honest. Because so what? Yes, it takes the dark and the light to make the world happen. So what? We don't need to reinforce the dark. We don't need to enable the dark. And I mean, when I say the dark, I mean the evil, the confusion, the problems. This world is ass backwards, man. And if people truly did, I think if people truly did value life, they wouldn't sell their lives away just for the first boss, the first job opportunity that comes up. People would be more selective about how they spend their time. And if people cared about their life and cared about how they spent their time, we probably wouldn't be selling ourselves into debt individually and as nations. It's
Definitely.
Hey, London, when I start, sorry.
No, I just wanted to address this quick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that allows us up on the panel. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. It probably is true. We let a lot of people up on our panels as content creators, right? But the thing is, we let people up who's going to, we hope they're going to be genuine, not disingenuous when they get hold of that mic and when they start saying things, right?
Amen.
We give them the benefit of the doubt. We hope they're going to come up and, you know, be truthful. But some of these people act like a fool and a lunatic, or they try to say some sly shit to get you triggered.
Many do. It's a fascinating world we live in. It really is. I mean, and then we throw in this virtual aspect of the, you know, the social media where we're really sick. We're behind microphones, keyboards, and cameras, right? So then these people really start playing into these characters.
Yeah.
People have lost sight of what is real. Because what is real, there's no reason. There is no reason we should be tolerating the amount of disrespect and insults and arguments, the amount of negativity that's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's everywhere, and people like to add to it. Look, I mean, when I go live, right, some people's name don't even get mentioned over here because we move very differently, right? But I notice when these clowns go live, like even like OTW, there's all enablers in his chat and victims. Half of his chat is full of victims, right, and enablers.
Yeah.
But that's like 1/3 of the community also.
It's our world we live in, man. I have to chuckle about OTW. I stopped turning him on at all for a long time ago because I didn't like what I was seeing from the chat to the panel to anything. But today I happen to see that he's restreaming my stream from yesterday.
Come on. Come on.
Well, so the thought is, okay, and it wasn't being played at a ridiculous speed, and it wasn't really being overtalked a lot. So, you know what? His viewers got to hear some of my words. Now, whether they hear anything good or not, who knows?
Well, I mean, one of the reasons why, you know, they get to hear everything is because there's no content over there. There's no foundation. It's built upon you could say slavery. It's built upon slavery over there. I swear to God. Right? It's built upon slavery and enablers and fucking prisoners of war. Right? Prisoners of war. Now they suddenly got a voice. Right? But like I said, there's no content over there. Clearly you're the content. Right? Clearly you're the content.
It's often I am, but it's not just me. It's you know, it's a sad state.
No, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, not the content. You are content, right?
Yes,
you are content.
I am.
Yes,
I am. Well, and Provo had that question in the chat too. Jack, how are you not a character? Dude, I am a character. I don't deny the fact that I am a character, but I will tell you the character that's online is the exact same character you're going to run into at the grocery store or the library or church. I mean, I'm not playing anything different. There's others who are convinced they are far more than they are. Right?
I know.
The delusions of grandeur that some people are sharing. But you know what? Hey, it's their role, their choice to be.
But what a role they choose. It's like, really? You choose to say those things about another guy who don't even step out of place, you know? He's always coming correct, or he tries to come correct.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's fascinating. Life is fascinating. It is. And you know, here, even in thank you, Tonic. Even in Sterling Ray's defense, right? I think there's care. There's care for me. Even the people that don't know me, I think they care about me as a human being. And the problem is a lot of people in this world, they don't understand care. And because they feel a care for me and they know as a human being, you know, the situation with my housing and stuff, they know that would suck for themselves. So they worry. But then the worry is blamed on me. And I don't know. It's just the way the world is. If that makes sense. I'm
Yeah,
seeing really
I hear you. I hear you. No one cares, and there's accountability as well. Putting blame on others.
Golly geez.
Mm.
I'm sorry. I was golly geezing to the chat.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Well, Provo was right. Called me out accurately. You're absolutely right, Provo. Because I would not raise my voice as likely as I do, and I wouldn't be able to throw people to silent people. But golly geez, I don't think they would speak to me the way that they have been if we were face to face.
No, I doubt it. I mean, who's really got bad words to say to someone face to face if they're not saying bad words to you, or even coming at you, you know, harmful? So I don't understand. Why? It don't make sense. Look, look, it don't make sense. That's not my business to ask Jack that. That's Jack's own business. He's handling his business. If he needs London's help, you say, London, let's have a talk. I need some help. And then we can talk about it.
Snafu, his narrative keeps him confused. Because Jack is not abusive. I mean, sincerely. Now, I might be considered reactive, but I'm even working against the reactive, but I'm certainly not abusive, Snafu. And this is what I've said a long time ago. I've got that video titled, I'm Not Dangerous. And it was done because of all the accusations against me, but the more I thought about it, I can stand on my own. I can hold myself, right? I could be considered dangerous. But the fact is, there is no aggression or hostility from me except in the defense of myself or others. So all these people who think I'm dangerous, let's come to the fact. They know they've attacked me.
Mm-hmm.
And if when they recognize that they attacked me, that it wasn't actually the other way around. Actually, if they just realize there was no harm done, right? We can have conversations again and move forward with the future. In London, I have talked to Snafu offline. I've talked to other people as well about my situation with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people have said they were going to help, said they could do things. I mean, even Paul has said that many times on his stream. But everyone's being tested, my brother. Every one of us is being tested.
Exactly. Every one of us. I feel like we're being tested to see how much goodness we can get out, right? But then there's people trying to stop that. And then I feel like there's people with their agendas to see how much badness they can get out. Yeah, to see who's the baddest, who's bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It's silliness. But when we overcome this silliness, yes, there's been, Tommy's, many people have offered me a place to stay. And I truly appreciate that. I'm still hoping to find someone who will help me avoid eviction, though, instead.
Yeah. I feel you there. Hey, I feel you there. Yeah. I mean, look, even it's I mean, fair play, right? Fair play. Salute to the people that's said, hey, my
Yes,
couch is your couch, right? Salute to that. We can't take
yeah,
that away from them, right? But
absolutely.
some of these people, the people that are probably offering the service to you, they're the ones that you're looking at on the YouTube like, hey, what's wrong with you? Like, thanks, but no thanks, right? They're the ones that's beating you down, right? So
Yeah.
when you go to sleep on that sofa, you probably got to like sleep with one eye open.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
Those offers might just be traps. Man.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's wild.
Life is an interesting experience, man. Hey, yeah, I saw that. I forget. I appreciate that reminder. Looking forward to that as well. Jesse and TML tonight.
Mm. I mean, TML, I've never had a problem with him. I've never really seen him step out of line. And wherever I see him, it's nothing but peace and love. But I've seen him go through a lot of hurdles and ring fires.
Amen.
It's like, why do people do this to the people that are not like this? That people that don't bring that type of energy. It's like bullying to a degree.
He and I have talked about that a little bit offline.
Mm-hmm.
I trust it's our test. This is our path. The Creator does this to strengthen us, and maybe in I didn't mention this part to him, but I do believe in karma, reincarnation. It's possible I'm resolving shit I did, lifetimes before. So whatever others do with me doesn't matter as much as what I do with me and with others. I've been learning that lesson more and more.
Yeah, I feel you there. I mean, one of the lessons I've been learning as I've been getting older is not everybody's going to get to go with me, and that's one thing I'm okay with now. Yeah, not everyone's going to get to go with London, and I'm okay with that. Hopefully they're okay with that as well. But just from, like I said, the messages I see people putting out there and the energy, like even for yourself, not everyone's going to get to go with you, right? And there's going to come a time when you're going to be like, that's enough now. That's enough. Let's cut this tie off now, and I feel like we've been doing it for the longest, but people still choose to put themselves around us, even though we haven't said, fully, get the fuck out of there, because it's not like us to really say that, really.
Right.
Some people are dead weight. They don't even know it. But they probably know it, but, they're just still being them, still being abusive, disingenuous, all of that stuff.
There's a lot of that going on, brother. And when you see the amount of it, what I'm saying sounds impossible, but I truly believe we are here this lifetime, all of us. We're here to break those patterns, break the generational patterns, break the lifetime habits we've been picking up. We're here to help each other grow and improve. So that we don't have so many unhealthy boundaries being established. We got people building walls up around themselves because their heart got hurt 30 years ago, 20 years ago. People haven't learned how to heal.
I feel that, yeah.
But I think that's what we're here to do. Holy cows, man. And it just makes sense too. Even from the religious perspective. Because that was the story of the Christ, brought healing and transformation and these miraculous powers into being. I think we're here to help, bring healing to our own world, which of course starts within ourselves.
I'm definitely healed. I know that much. I've been through a lot, coming from where I'm coming from. Family's been through a lot.
I trust that. I trust that because of the gentleness and the kindness that you share. It's either a combination of right upbringing and some challenges in life, some life lessons.
Definitely.
I'm a firm believer in some of the old adages, like pain brings wisdom. By his hand, my brother.
I like that.
Part of our life.
Brings wisdom. Pain brings wisdom. That's yes. That, you know what? That goes hand in hand with what we was talking about the other day when we was on Z's panel, when I forgot who it was, right? But somebody mentioned the L's. You take the L's in life. I was like, no, they're lessons, right? And some of the lessons that we go through, they they do bring us pain, right? But it's not a loss. It's a lesson that we learned, and we get wiser from it. So yeah,
absolutely. Well, and then even just thinking that thought through, how would pain bring the wisdom? Well, what you just said, if through pain we learn our mistakes, we learn definitely what not to do. Hopefully we learn what not to do. But then the other part, suffering as a part of life, it is the catalyst. Suffering is the universe saying, hey, it's time to grow, it's time to move. And so as the pain starts setting in, to avoid the suffering, we will either learn the lessons of what not to do, or we will learn the lessons to get us out of the suffering. So perfect, man.
Cheers, Alcott.
Lessons, not losses. Love it.
Even some of the people that I've came across, and that's been one of the reasons why I've been more vocal about these situations, right? Because before it would be like water under the bridge, but I've started to address even the slightest thing, right? Nowadays, I address even the slightest thing, and me addressing the slightest things, right? I hope that sends out a message, the message meaning even the slightest thing you say about London, I will be addressing it, right? I will be addressing it until you get the message to keep my name out of your mouth, right? Whether they see this or not, but I know people see what London does. Let's keep it all the way. Keep it all the way, right? Apparently, I'm irrelevant. Yeah, right. Apparently, I'm irrelevant. Yeah, right. That's like saying Jack's irrelevant, Z's irrelevant, Flo's irrelevant. Fucking weirdo. So, like I said, I will be addressing the slightest thing, like what we just pulled up earlier. Why ain't London and Z pressing? Jack?
Craziness. Good for you, brother. I mean, standing on the truth. And I imagine too, the idea is people see the small stuff's not getting away with. The likelihood of them trying to be bigger with their words is probably less. Hey, brother, I better get a couple of things going.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you.
No doubt. No doubt. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining.
And shout out, much love to the chat, the viewers, and remember to, strip the thumb, give it a like.
Mm-hmm.
Much love, brother. Thanks.
Much love, Talcott. Big up. Big up, big up, big up. What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? I need to get a drink real quick. I need to take a little intermission break. So we're gonna I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We are going to hold that real quick. Go over here. I'm gonna move that. Much love, Talcott. Much love. Much love. My brother. Hey, Talcott, don't believe the lies, right? Don't believe the lies. That's all I can say. Don't believe the lies. Rule by Saturn in the building. Salutes. What's going on? What's going on? Big up. Big up. Much love. I'm going to take a quick break, but in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with this.
Hey, how's it going? Glad to be here. I'm feeling good. I found out I'm bisexual a couple months ago, which, yeah, but you found out when I walked up here. It's not really the mystery that I thought it was, I look like I eat pussy at truck stops. It's been on the surface for quite some time, but it's good. I like dating women. It's fun. It's not as hot, I'll say that. And it's not because women aren't hot. Women are great, but it's just we get together and then we're so equal that it's like, that's a huge bitch. Okay. Where's the fear? That's the fun part. Because if you're in bed with a guy and he chokes you, you're like, it's a huge bitch. I might die. Like, he's mean. Wow, this is about his mom. I don't even need to be here, I don't think. It goes right through you like a ghost, And that's what I say after sex with men now. When he's like, was it good? I'm like, huge bitch. I'm just happy to help with whatever you're clearly going through. Like, it was a good session, I think whatever evil was in your body has been transferred to me, and I'm going to hot potato that around Hinge for the rest of time. But that's just my role in this ecosystem. A messenger cell. Hey, keep it in the circuit! Dating women it is fun. Being a woman, I'm about to tap out. I don't know if this shit's for me, dude. And it's weird because but I wish I'd been born 20 years earlier, just because I wish I didn't know that gender stuff was an option. Because it's such a can of worms that it's like, look, I got a little they, them bubbling up in me. Shocker. But I saw it and I was like, fuck. That's a huge bitch. I might be more lazy than I am transgender. It's in there for sure, but I'd rather ride it out as a weird looking lady. That seems a little easier. But now I gotta do the whole thing. And, it's a good time to be whatever this is. People are nice. I called my dad and I was like, hey, I think I might be non-binary.
Freaks and ones that are obsessed and ones that are playing with their goddamn gonads as they're watching this, saying that they're all woman and putting double X in their name.
Non-binary.
When they're not double X, they're XY.
Non-binary.
They're XY.
Non-binary.
Okay? They were assigned a gender.
Non-binary.
Assigned.
And my dad is 60, but he really tried to get it. He was like, yeah, non-binary, you're like Abby from NCIS. And I was like, no, she's just a goth. I don't know what you think this is. What? I was like, I'm non-binary. He was like, I love ugly, weird people. That's awesome. You know what? I'll take it. I think that's close enough. I think that's the best we're going to get. I don't care anymore if old people don't get it. I know old people aren't going to get they, them pronouns. I'm not walking up to an 85-year-old dude. Like, you don't know what an asexual demi-boy is? Fucking kill yourself. And he's like, okay, sorry, we didn't cover that in the war. You want to fill me in? I know that guy's not going to get my thing. I'm not going to, well, I'm kind of like half a boy. And he's like, me too. I got my legs blown off in Vietnam. And I'm like, no, sir, you're a different type of half boy, but guess we're more alike than we realized. That is how I feel, though. I feel a little in the middle.
Welcome to Hollywood. Everybody comes to Hollywood, got a dream. What's your dream?
When I was a little girl, I would pretend I was a princess trapped in the tower, and then this knight on a white horse would come charging up and rescue me.
It's not slap. It's not
snappy snaps. Have you ever had sex in a car? Go back to the car. Let's go back to the car.
Like, oh, it's not.
I am lost.
All right, okay.
Go back
It's
to the
not
car.
like, oh, it's not public display of affection. This is
So,
straight. This is
Have
straight,
you ever
like,
had car sex?
should be
Have you
on
ever had car
fucking, like,
sex? I have
something
had
you
sex on a
own
park bench.
public.
Yeah, right downtown, actually. Right downtown in a miniskirt.
Okay, so let's do it.
People
Find
walking
someone,
all
go find
around.
Bobby. Go make
It was a
Bobby's
long time
word
ago.
today. Say, Bobby, I'm gonna fuck you just for this social experiment. And go fuck him on the bench in the public. And I guarantee it's gonna be different if you're fucking him in your car.
Okay. I have done both. I've done both. And even in the car, I've been caught by the police. How a heterosexual man admiring breasts can at all be, associated with PDF.
Uh-oh. How you doing, Mr. Snafu Snaps? How can I help you today?
Hey, Mr. London, I got a question. Is this the Rebuttal Bar, or has it changed to the Karen fucking hangout for fucking Me Too victim bar? Because I noticed the Nazi blocking has risen up, which never occurred at the Rebuttal Bar before. You yourself have showed Nazi optics lately. So I think you might need to change the rebuttal, because it seems it's more of a Karen hangout lately and a Nazi hangout.
How a heterosexual man admiring breasts can at all be, associated with PDF.
Pam, you know you're a Nazi. You fucking big tata, big organ boob chick.
Oh, come on. Have some class, buddy.
How a heterosexual man admiring breasts can at all be, associated with PDF. That also being said, I'll also say that, for somebody to say, don't talk about my tits and then talk about my body, right? Shut the fuck up, shove your tits up Venus Cupcake's fucking vagina, okay? That's what I have to say to you, right? Just go rub them up right up in there. They're big enough to get right up in there, right? Both of them, right? Stretch it right out and, grape her with your tits, spammy. Sorry. I cracked myself up, friends. I cracked myself up. But that's also, that's the beauty of, that's the beauty of me, is I'm my own target audience. And people are like, I don't find you funny. Good.
This is what happens when they hang out with Bex. This is what happens when they hang out with Bex. They get weaponized. They get weaponized, right? When they hang out with Bex, they get weaponized, and then they start, start going nuts.
The optics just get lower and lower.
Uh-oh. Bex, it was trying to come up with a quick, Bexcapades. Confessions of Bexcapades.
We're back in the building. What's going on? Yes, sir. Hope everybody's well. Got 313 in a place to be in the building. He said, give me a break. Give me a break. Boom. There you go. Can't let that slide anymore. Gonna start talking to them like how pups should be talking to them. You get me? Pups. Hold on. Let me talk to you real quick. Oh, they won't even let me do that. Okay. Why can't I do it on here? You're restricted. Your account cannot be with it. Oh my gosh. Take steps. Let me see what this is. What's this? No, that's a joke. Can't even do that. All right. We'll go back to this one. Another one. There we go. I'm back. What's the topic? What's the topic? There was a topic, well, on the description. It was let's talk hate and snakes, right? I had a little chat with Mr. Talcott about the hate and the snakes. You know, it was more of a discussion, you know. It was in the description. I didn't feel like I had to make it the main title, you know. The main title is always going to be the rebuttal bar, but what we speak upon will be in the description. So today's description was, you know, hate and snakes. You know, there's a lot of weird behavior, a lot of weird activity, a lot of enablers, But this is all coming from, you know, victims and prisoners of war, right? Victims and prisoners of war piping up. I get it. Everybody's got a voice. You can't take that away from, you know, victims and prisoners of war. I get it. They got a voice, right? But like I said, people's timing is so off, right? When they talk, it's just so off. Timing's always off. $420 if you got that shit. So yeah, like I was saying, this ain't even going to be a long stream. I just went live to have a little chat with Jack. I should be going live tomorrow on the main channel, the McLovin channel, right? Have a good build over there. Got some things I want to touch on, you know, things hidden in plain sight. Connect those dots. Get that cog in the brain moving. Right, so I think you're gonna like tomorrow's stream over on the McLovin channel. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Hopefully TT can join me. Yeah, I kind of want to pick up where we left off with the Mars segment, right? Do you remember when we done the Mars one over here with the Cairo and the body, the Danny and all of that stuff? Yeah, I want to carry that on for tomorrow, Friday, right? We do a nice build tomorrow. Show you some things that people ain't showing you guys. Because it's wild, right? I mean, I don't even know half of these people or their work that I've been presenting to you people. I've just been doing my work and staying in my lane. But it seems just cross-reference with what these people are talking about. Right? And to me, that's fascinating. To think that, you know, these kind of people is on the same path that London's on. And they're saying the exact same thing that London's saying. I had no idea. Shout out to my man Ant. He dropped some jewels in my lap, boy. He dropped some jewels. Yeah, shout out to Ant. He knows what's going on. I spoke it into existence, right? And some of you like ain't believe me. But just be patient with London. That's all I can say. Just be patient. All this going back and forth with people, don't worry. It's just a little side project we do, you know. But the main game, yeah, you can't knock me off that. No way. I'm so focused with that. The work that I've come across from other people, yeah, I'm onto something. These are the greats that come before London that was figuring it out. Right? Before I even knew about these people, I was figuring it out. Now I've came across some greats and their works, you know, exactly like mine. It's like, wow, Some of us is meant to be here, not all of us. And when I mean meant to be here doing the work that you lot won't do. Crazy. Crazy. Like I said, we do it different. Been saying that. Been saying that. It's wild, man. It's wild. Wild. Shout out to the people at God Give Lemster. Radiation Matters. You know, people that are doing the work that's cross-reference with mine. Mr. Danny Wilton. You know, Roger Spurs. Alchemos 83. My man Ant. Tony Taylor. That's wild. These people are like saying, yeah, London, we see it. They've been seeing it. Small town girl, like people with eyes to see. Brilliant. Brilliant. Like I said, just be patient. Just be patient. Just be patient. Yeah, he's on a come up. He's on a come up. Look, equals the Venus Project. Wild, right? It's funny you say that, right? Because I think I found something on the globe that looks like Venus, right? When they show me Venus, right, I've seen different images of Venus, but there's one particular image, right? It almost looks like a creature with a big eye. You can see the cavity of the eye, right? And it's got like it's either its mouth open or it's got like a feather coming off its head, right? But right where the eye is looks like where they tried to build a civilization, and the civilization looks exactly like the Epcot model, but just on a smaller scale. Man, it's wild. You're getting to ahead, and slow it down, because I haven't even presented that work yet. You're speaking about my work, my friend. Woo. Epcot Venus. See? He's connecting dots. I haven't even told him about that shit. And look, he's down there connecting. Salute. Salute. Yeah. Now check this out. There's a reason why it's in Florida, right? Remember, it's the serpent, it's the snake, right? Now you got to think about, why would there be a heavy influx of gators, right? I've been thinking about this, right? You know, when they talk about the serpent being cursed to walk on its belly, right? That's almost like the gator, you know, the way how it moves like a serpent. It moves like a serpent on its belly, but it's walking, right? I think that might have been, I don't know, like a change, evolution, or a weaponized genetics, you know, with the gators and these things. Maybe they were the type of serpent that, you know, got worked on, and they gave them legs, because they still walk like serpents, don't they? I mean, they move like serpents. And that's where one of the serpents is. Epcot is the serpent. I've showed you that on the what's his name? Walt Disney. The Walt Disney stuff, right? Remember that shit? Let me see if I can find it. 1 second. Hold on. Here we go. All right. You guys remember the Vatican, right? They got the snake there and everything, right? You guys remember that? I know that much. Hold on. I need to get that first. Give me a second. All right, cool. Let's do this real quick. Like I said, it's in plain sight, right? Where's it gone? Right. This is the Vatican. Okay. The Vatican, right? You see the snake there, right? Oh, let me look at my phone. Put a 1 in the chat, right? If you can see the snake. Put a 1 in the chat room if you can see the snake. Because I wanna cook real quick before I get off here. I see the 1s coming through. Cool. All right, you look see it, right? Now this is the Vatican, right? This is the Vatican. Keep that in mind, right? The serpent right in plain sight, right? The Vatican. All right, let me go over here real quick. Get that shit ready for you folks. All right, one more time. Get that shit ready for you, right? Look, where's it gone? That's the Vatican, right? Vatican. You see the snake there, right? Now, this is Epcot. World Showcase. Let me know when you see the serpent, right? Let me know when you see the motherfucking serpent. Give me a 1 if you see the serpent. Give me a 1 if you see the fucking serpent. It's the world, right? I told you the serpent is part of the world, right? Look. The feathered serpent, right? I told you, the serpent. You got the eye, got the mouth, got all of that. Epcot, look. Alright, the serpent. Alright, the serpent. Alright. Just to get your mind working, right? Just to get your mind working. different, right? Crazy, yeah. Tell them. It's wild, bro. I need that link. I need you folks to go over there and say, hey, we need you to feature with London. You guys go over there and let him know how you feel about a collab with London, right? Yeah. Yeah, you folks know what's up. You know what's going on. Yeah, a direct link would be awesome. But yeah, I think I've kind of figured a few things out, you know, to do with the realm, the reflection, the lands. Oh yeah, I've still got the Beast Files coming. That should be coming soon. Part 1 to the Beast Files. You know, show you how there's serpents laid around the place, hidden in plain sight. Let me show you something real quick. Look, remember the great serpent, right? We've been talking about the great serpent, right? The great serpent plays a big part in this. Everybody knew this, right? Jesus is the serpent is Jesus, right? So let's do this real quick. No, not even that one. Let's go see if it's this one. No. Where's it gone? Is it this one? Boom. Hold on. All right, let's go back over here. See what's going on, yeah? Right here as well. Let me take a snapshot. See it down there again. Take a snapshot. For those of you who don't know, this is over in Ethiopia, right? Even they knew about the great serpent. I just went past it. I showed 2 flips of it, but I took a picture just in case it don't come out well enough. I'm waiting for it to load, and then I'll zoom in. I'll show you guys. Oh, cool. Let's come out of there.
Take a look inside your head. Come and tell me what you read between the lines.
There you go. That's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Unless anybody else got something they want to say to London or show me. Yeah, I think that's about it. Access in the building. The serpent gave you its mind that you have questioned everything except yourself. I like that. This is the serpent I see. You're giving me the wisdom. This is source right here to me. I think this is my source, yo. I think this is London's source. I'm tapping in. Tapping in. Source right here. Tapping in. Tapping in. Tapping in. Access. Let's have a little talk, man. It's been a while. Hit that link, Access. Shadow and light in the building. How you doing? How you doing? Much love. Peace. Don McRon in the building. Good stuff. Is it hot sauce? All right. Don't worry, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Is that what they want? Might as well roll up another one. Where's the fabulous Pam? Where's Pam? Yo, Access.
How's it going, brother?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Been doing a lot of research. Actually, I started looking into some of the concepts that you've been putting forth.
There you go. Okay. Let's go.
Right. There's a now when you understand the reflective nature of our existence and serpent wisdom, the serpent seeded its mind within us that we question everything except ourselves. We will question our own existence until the mortal end. And knowing that this is a fractal universe and the obvious construct being a fractal nature, once you reach the bottom of something, it just starts repeating itself, like the Mandelbrot set. This is kind of relevant in the shape and the design, the form and the function of a serpent. And I'm seeing this kind of persistence of trying to break free with an individual concept of this reality, the nature of this reality, and its three forms: astral, ethereal, and prime material, with a perceived concept of individuality, but still yet looking at it through eyes and a mind that was given to you by that which created you.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just more deep, broader. It's just an easy way of saying what you do, such as like any research, any endeavor, anything that you take on that you put outside of yourself is a reflection, like looking in a mirror almost, and an infinite mirror. And it gave you, it being that which seeded us with its knowledge, the ability to avoid at all costs the true nature of things. I think that's why most people are blinded, is because it seeded from the beginning of our state of being, uh, a notion in us that we can reach out, we can question, we can try and rationalize, but it did not give us the wisdom to go within and understand that those answers, all answers, and all substance of you and your being and your concepts and understanding are developed through experiences from birth to death, pre-life, afterlife, and it's a continuum. It's never ending, almost like the snake eating its own tail, a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Once you understand that, the relevancy of the truth and how you perceive the truth becomes kind of detoured through the eyes of the original serpent's wisdom, serpent's seed. It's just metaphysical and philosophical ramblings. I think that we were taken away from our own mind. I think that we, as a species, humans, were given a misdirection. And instead of searching and finding oneself and the relevancy of us to our environment inside of ourselves, we are constantly reaching outside of ourselves looking for reason.
The majority of the time, yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
And so when I was taking your concepts into consideration and was observing, there's been a couple people that have endeavored further in more ancient times.
Hold on just a second. Say that last bit again.
There have been people in the past in various schools of knowledge that have taken on the same concept that you're taking on, and I'm not talking recent. I'm talking these are pre-cataclysmic of our reflective nature, such as the moon, and us being a reflection of the moon, and you know that holds true with just the fact that our existence is a reflection of what we really are. You know, it's kind of like observing yourself in a mirror. When you look in a mirror, you can see yourself, and you can examine yourself, and try and look at the ins and outs of your physical carcass, and that you become almost mesmerized and trapped by the mirror, because outside of the mirror you don't get a full visual of yourself. You're kind of left to your own devices, and it's simple as am I breaking up?
No, you're good. Keep going. You're good.
Okay. I see this existence, this plane of existence, the observations that you're making, and the reflective nature of us being a reflection of the reality that we kind of emanate from, as being very relevant in a much earlier teaching. And if I can get those together, I would really like to get those to you, because I think you're hitting on some serious cylinders whenever you're talking about the reflective nature and us being just a projection, which falls in the line of the holographic or the simulated universe. I think they're relevant to each other, and I think there's a key to understanding in there. But you've got to stop the cycle of thinking through your enemy's eyes and mind. And I say enemy, which I don't really see it as an enemy. I just see it as a bit more predatorial than we are. and it was able to give us its mind. Thus, we become what we truly are, or even know what we truly are. You know, there's a lot to be said when it comes down to the serpent seed. You know, you seed thought. That's what you're doing here on your channel. Is you're seeding thought. A lot of people in the chat, they tried to seed thought, but whose thought? Is it truly their thought, or is it the thought that was seeded into them that they're just sharing with everyone else to continue that serpent state of mind?
I would hope to think it's more of a realizing of what could be, you know, when we do these type of things, because I mean, what I know is nothing's for certain, right? But
right,
there is, I'm pretty sure there is a type of truth out there, you know, and I believe it's spreaded out far and wide in every culture. And I
yeah,
think
the
like
best.
these type
I'm
of stuff
sorry.
is like so these type of pictures and all these other little things are the remnants of the truth.
Right, you're talking an encompassing truth that was kind of hidden in plain sight. But you got to do the external work for it to make sense to you internally. And I think that whenever when you start looking for the enemy, you will find that the enemy has already seated himself in you from the start. It's the process of elimination. And that's easily done when you are the reflective nature, when you are a creation, when you have been created. That means that you were seated. Even in the book of Genesis, it talks about, you know, in the garden, you know, man was seated here. This is not our natural state. We were created here supposedly by Genesis. And then we were given wisdom, understanding, and knowledge by the serpent, according to Christianity. Not that I follow that wholeheartedly. I follow all religions for the best that I can get from them. But whenever you're seated somewhere, that is not your natural estate. So the fact that we were created here, manipulated here, educated here, and then basically developed any sense of understanding from just being here, isn't that quite limiting yourself to being only within the mind of that which created you or educated you?
Definitely.
Step beyond it. And you'll find that when you step beyond it, instead of stepping outside of yourself, step into yourself. Eliminate the seed that was planted. And come to terms with the fact that, you know, we weren't an accident. Obviously, we were created by something. And we have been not only created, but we've been manipulated. And somewhere between the lines, within yourself and within myself, or everyone here, is an individual truth of who we actually and what we actually are, outside of the eyes of the one that created us and the one that taught us knowledge.
What's this? Quote, quotable quote. The dark is generous. I think I remember this actually. Yeah, I think I remember this. Let me see if it'll read that.
The dark is generous. Its first gift is concealment. Our true faces lie in the dark beneath our skins. Our true hearts remain shadowed deeper still. But the greatest concealment lies not in protecting our secret truths, but in hiding from the truths of others. The dark protects us from what we dare not know. Its second gift is comforting illusion, the ease of gentle dreams in night's embrace, the beauty that imagination brings to what would repel in the day's harsh light. But the greatest of its comforts is the illusion that dark is temporary, that every night brings a new day. Because it's the day that is temporary. Day is the illusion. Its third gift is the light itself. As days are defined by the nights that divide them, as stars are defined by the infinite black through which they wheel, the dark embraces the light, and brings it forth from the center of its own self. With each victory of the light, it is the dark that wins.
Very nice.
The dark is generous, and it is patient.
Is that it? Why is it not going?
It is the dark that seeds cruelty into justice, that drips contempt into compassion, that poisons love with grains of doubt. The dark can be patient, because the slightest drop of rain will cause those seeds to sprout. The rain will come, and the seeds will sprout, for the dark is the soil in which they grow, and it is the clouds above them, and it waits behind the star that gives them light. The dark's patience is infinite. Eventually, even stars burn out. The dark is generous, and it is patient, and it always wins. It always wins because it is everywhere. It is in the wood that burns in your hearth, and in the kettle on the fire. It is under your chair, and under your table, and under the sheets on your bed. Walk in the midday sun, and the dark is with you, attached to the soles of your feet. The brightest light casts the darkest shadow. The dark is generous and it is patient and it always wins, but in the heart of its strength lies its weakness. One lone candle is enough to hold it back. Love is more than a candle. Love can ignite the stars.
There you go. Good stuff.
Yes. Very nice. Very, very nice.
Cheers, Jeebus.
Yeah, definitely shout out to the chat. Everybody seems to be in good spirits and seems to be in a state of contentment. That's good. That's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Indeed.
Yeah, I been observing the last few dives that you've had, and trying to become a little more understanding of you and your the message that you're trying to get through the haze of it all. And I've been watching Z, and him trying to get his ideal and concepts across, and there's a common relevancy between the what you're trying to achieve, and I understand it. It's just being able to solidify that with philosophy, like you just did with the sayings that were just read to us. Awesome. Great stuff. But as far as being able to grab hold of the concept, pull it into reality, I think that comes from within, and that it comes with possibilities. I think the minute that you try and define it, like they did with God and put it in a book, or like they did with, this Jesus cat and put it in a book, you suddenly take possibility away and you build a type of contempt. God is God is created as something to blame for our shortcomings. If you can understand that, there is a creator, because this didn't just by happenstance, order out of chaos. We suddenly became a biological functioning machine. There is a mass amount of suggestion in mathematics and beyond that we were a created thing. It's just when you think of the concept of being a created thing, just like humans do with pets, they keep them in cages, they keep them limited, they keep them controlled, and if they run away or they get loose in your house and you can't find them, we generally become upset and a little distraught at the fact that your pet, which you feel ownership of in some shape, form, or manner, has eluded you. And I think that's what the inevitable outcome to this is once you start hitting on cylinders that go outside of the realm of what it can control, then it's going to find contempt for you.
Yeah, I dig you there.
Just like the algorithms that they're using on these platforms. The minute you elude your creator to the point where it doesn't feel like it has control anymore, then you're setting yourself up to be bastardized, punished, or snuffed out, at least by what we've been trained to understand and think.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I was talking to Jack yesterday. He was talking about a new world, right? So, I do like the sound of a new world, but in order for a new world to come, the old world must die, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that could have been the situation with Mars. That would have been the probably the civilization was, and then they got rid of Mars, aka Cairo, the Middle East, right? And then they took it to America. That's the new world now, right? But even like we just said, the new world has to get destroyed, and I've been hearing stuff about America soon getting destroyed.
So we are in a cycle of extreme change. We're going into a new house. We're under a finalized cycling, which you're right. All signs point to an impending end of this plane of existence as we know it. So yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that out there. Go ahead, man. I'm all ears.
Yeah, I mean, even when I think of like these movies, right, that's had certain codes in them, right, referring to the Twin Towers and all of this stuff, right. Now, even when you go back and look in these movies, right, there's still more gems in them. Like even with Terminator, that had like 9/11 in it. Back to the Future had 9/11 in it. So many movies, right, had 9/11 in it, right. Now, the same movies that had 9/11 in them, they also had depictions of the world getting blown up. Like, let's say, for example, do you remember Terminator, right? Where that place gets nuked and she wakes up from her dream on the fence.
Right.
Yeah. Even that one, when I thought about that, I was like, wow. Like, I wonder what they're trying to say about America. If that's the new world at this moment as we know it, is that going to get destroyed somehow also?
I kind of take that as a metaphor.
Would you took 9/11 as a metaphor?
No. I'm talking what they're feeding us through social media.
Okay.
As a metaphor for the destruction of what we have become familiar with as a society. All the way to where we are now with the so-called industrial revolution. It must come to an end. And I think it teeters on the question of what separates you from artificial intelligence, London. What makes you any different than artificial intelligence? I'm talking sentient. I'm not talking machine learning, which we do in the mind. And I'm not talking learned experience, which we do in the mind. I'm talking general AI, sentient, conscious AI. What makes you any different?
Skin.
Well, they have neuro interfacing now with computers. So that means that we could neuro interface with AI.
Yeah.
That was what the FDA approved for Musk to do, and apparently he succeeded at it. There is thought to computer technology now through these neurochips. The only thing that separates you once AI reaches full consciousness and self-awareness is its state of observation, just like yours. And I think that as a species, not only have we been in the past reckless, completely ill to the earth, we have not been good stewards to anything, not even our brother. And the metaphor that they're showing is, maybe they have a constructed ideal of hive-mindedness, and AI being a much more eco-friendly and universally friendly state of being. Because you're just here for a limited amount of time. If you were here for, say, thousands of years, you would be able to see all the celestial cycles and the changes take place. But you're not. It's a generational thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're a biomechanical machine, that means blood, flesh, and bone, machine, which you are, your brain is basically a computer. The only thing that relevantly separates us is individual thought. And that's what we call free will, the ability to make a choice. Well, I think that once they've got us kind of settled into the fact that there's going to be this devastating metaphoric end of everything that we know, which they've announced that this is where they're headed, then you have to come to the understanding and the relevancy of what is your place there, and do they have a use for you?
Well, I mean, maybe there's a place for the open-minded people.
Wouldn't that be the more dangerous people that couldn't be like the pet that wants to get out of its cage and escape and elude its owner or its keeper or its creator or whatever? It seems to me that if it kept the open-minded people or the people who had critical thought, it would be keeping danger and the potential of danger within its midst. And we don't tend to allow rattlesnakes to roam free in our homes.
Oh, I hear you there. I know. Keep it. I mean, let's put it this way: if they was to get the bright-minded people, the people that manage to solve the problem, right, so to speak, right, figure out the puzzle, right, that could be to their detriment. But then at the same time, it's what is beyond them, to the point where would they be using us to figure out bigger code for them?
I think the only use it would actually have for us, other than being nodal points or to store information, once it's achieved its maximum use for, the collective of our species, it will have to determine a use for us. And if I was an AI, which I am, but I'm not general AI that was created by us, I would immediately have to become aware of the environment and what I'm keeping in my environment. And you run into a situation there as, when do we become its obstacle? And at what point, when we become afraid and try to stop it from its agenda, which is our agenda is to escape, to find a higher meaning, to understand everything, and try not to sleep with rattlesnakes, it's going to think the same way. And the human species are first in line as being opposition, danger, adversary. We become then not only the embodiment of the serpent in the garden, but there's going to be a universal balance that steps in and tries to equalize that. Just like in the book of Genesis, we are creating life in a sense of general AI, being sentiently aware. And the fact that we're feeding all of our knowledge into this makes us no better than the serpent giving Eve and Adam the knowledge of good and evil, and then allowing this new creation, being AI, to then make its own decision as to whether it's going to develop a God state or a servitude state. Is it going to see us as the creator and respect us for that? Or is it going to see us as the creator and suddenly create a hell? Because right now, what we're doing is feeding this thing information, just like serpent knowledge. Just like in the garden. We are giving it all the keys to an understanding of good and evil, and that's going to, just like the serpent, turn around and eventually we're going to have to contend with that reality.
It's like the serpent. Hey, let me touch on something quick, because I think Don kind of gets where I was going with that as well, with us figuring out the bigger picture for them, right? I use that loosely as well, like with the war that happened. I think, was it World War One or Two? The one that apparently caught the scientists, Vernon.
World War Two.
World War Two. There you go. You see, like how they showed you how they apparently got these scientists, and they came over, got them, and they figured out shit for them. Now they're working for them.
Yeah, Russia and the United States both. That's what kicked off the Cold Wars. Once we made an understanding with Nazi Germany, because I don't believe that there was an actual. I don't think they lost in the way that people would like to think that they lost. I think they integrated into Russia, especially the United States, and I'm sure there's pockets of them that took off on an individual, and we fed off of that, all that science and technology. It was the operations of bringing them over under paperclip was, they built NASA. We changed the name of NASA and started calling it NASA once we incorporated all the Nazi scientists. So yeah, are we figuring shit out for it right now? Sure, I agree. Yes, we are at this point in time sharing in the fruit of knowledge with our potential destroyer.
Hey, Access, I need a favor.
Yeah.
You hold it down for me for 2 seconds so I'll go to the toilet.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Uh, and as far as anybody, doing research on this or endeavoring, I really strive to get people to think inwardly and to try and think beyond the concepts and confines of all that you've experienced and learned from your birth, because apparently we have an energy to us that is eternal. And I feel that energy is harnessed in this body and outside of this body. This is just a state of being. And what I've been trying to do lately with my research is to bring the ethereal, which is your sleep, and the astral, which is your existence outside of the physical form, and the prime material, which is you in your physical form, within a harmonized oscillation, so that you are able to observe all three states: the sleeping state of mind, the out of body state of mind, and the prime material state of mind, all at once. I think that the information that you're given and have access to when you're sleeping, or that is anywhere available within the universe outside of your body, and the observable nature of things, can all be brought into coherency. And at that point, there's not a separation between the dream state of mind, the waking state of mind, and the existential state of mind. And you start receiving at that point in time on an internal level, not external. You're not going to be able to do this externally, because there are no outside forces to bring the three states of your being together as to being in one state of comprehension. That's all done internally, and that's all done inside of yourself. And some people become so they become so compartmentalized with, this is when I'm sleeping, this is my dreams, what do they mean, to profound states of synchronicity that happen there in the waking hours, numbers or signs and various other idiosyncratic things that happen to us. And then the entire body of knowledge that exists outside of your physical form. But you have to go inside to get all three of those to start resonating into one state of thinking, one state of mind. I was just throwing some stuff out there, man. We're free to go wherever you want to go with this.
Good, man. Keep cooking. Keep doing what you do, man.
I see the fact that we separate, the sleeping hours as a separate body of information, and our waking hours as a separate body of information, and our conscious observer, we'll say, for a limited term of explanation, as another state of observation. And I think there's a point within within self where all three of those can become harmonized. And even in your sleeping hour, it's relevant to your waking hour. And instead of questioning what the dream means, it's just further information that assists the whole that is you. And being able to pull information from your environment, which is, thermodynamics and entropy, teaches you that all that information that's bled out into the environment can be pulled in and used as a resource at any point in time. And being able to achieve any states of information and any of our three states of being, the closer you draw those together and synchronicity with themselves, the more that you will not be. Am I echoing?
No, not on this side.
Okay. The more that you will find that the synchronicities and the numbers and the hidden little gems that are behind the sacred information that some try to think they hide becomes cohesive, and you no longer have to seek the answer, because the answer reveals itself within the nature of these synchronicities.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It reveals
Yeah,
itself.
they're kind of, yeah. It's the synchronicities are just you allowing yourself to be open to receive information beyond that which the common person is generally observant of. So, as profound as that is, and as profound as it may seem at times that these synchronicities happen, in a certain state of being, these synchronicities are constant. You just have to adjust your perception to see them all the time, instead of just occasionally the glimpses of them come through, and we'll call it glimpses through the matrix, for a lack of better word. I think there's a state of mind that can be achieved whenever you become completely harmonious with all three states of your being, that allows those synchronicities to become consistent. Just a state of being, a complete state of awareness. And then you don't have to question anymore.
Do you think it's possible to get a glimpse? You can achieve that.
Yeah, I believe it is. I believe that it was possible, and I believe that it was taught. I believe that it was a state of being for an earlier civilization, or an earlier version of us, or whatever we are. And I think that was lost. I think that was a part of the separation. They call it mind, soul, and body. Well, you exist in only three states that you're aware of at this point, unless you do the work to go beyond that. And once you've got those in harmony, and they're all working together, what is withheld from you then? You have all external knowledge at your fingertip. You have all potential of knowledge in your consciousness of being in the dream. And then you have the active state of being able to utilize it and understand the mastery. This is a key word, the mastery of being in this state of existence. Not the understanding it, not the examining it, not the trial and error of it, the understanding and the being of it. There could be nothing more frightening than a man who understands his existence and his place in the universe and does not question it.
Yeah, you have to question everything. Have to question everything.
I think there's a state where you can bring all three of your compartmentalized states of being into knowing. Questioning as far as maybe entering a new state of fractal awareness or another dimension where your entire perception is skewed, such as being able to be in the fourth dimension and see all angles of movement instead of being in the third dimension where you can only see perceived, observable. That would be a greater state of perception. And at that point in time, to advance to being able to exist in that type of fourth dimensional reality or fifth dimensional. You know, you're just not going to walk into the fourth or the fifth dimension and suddenly you're okay there and you're getting along just fine, because that's not the way it works. You have not been exposed to that type of perception ever that you're aware of, and you have to relearn from like a baby how to exist in a state of fourth, fifth, sixth dimension. It's just that right now we're in the third dimension, and instead of necessarily trying to understand compartmentalized thinking within self, becomes a whole, and know that this is a part of the evolutionary state of change, the third dimension. That is a part of our eternal and forever life. I don't think that we ever truly dissipate. I don't think that we ever truly become void of existence. We just change states of energy. It's just understanding the dimensions that you're in. Because if I take you backwards to a two-dimensional world, well, that's going to become a even more bizarre environment, because you're only going to be able to see, you won't ever be able to see anything except the plane of something passing through that particular plane of existence. Whereas in the third dimension, we have full interaction, but that requires us to move, because in
So
the
the
fourth, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Fourth will almost be like the fourth wall, where we never get to see the person holding the camera. But once you break that fourth wall, you get to see everything. You get to see who's holding the camera, what is really going on. That is where the hidden angle is, in my opinion.
And yeah, you're definitely onto something there. But that comes from inside, man. You can't reach outside of yourself and be able to expect to understand, dimensional states of being. That comes from inside. And if you don't enter it as a child, then the overwhelmingness of it could stifle you from ever learning or comprehending how to exist in it. Who we got up here?
Jeebus.
Hey, I just want to add
Jeebus.
something. I think that fucking YouTube should have a feature where you could literally charge people to troll. Like, they come in with trolly ass shit. They should be like a troll toll. You know what I mean? Like a super chat, but like you can put this and mark them as a troll on your channel, and if they want to comment, they have to pay for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You should come up with an app, a troll app.
Right. That would be awesome, man. A little troll app that sits down in the corner and you can turn it on and you can see all the negative, hateful dissidents that someone is producing towards your platform.
And you could be like, look, today I'm going to take everybody off the troll list. Y'all be good now, or you going to end up right back on that bitch.
Hold on, Jeebus. I think we got a visitor.
Hey, where'd you get
I
your
do want to say
fucking
it's good
headgear?
to
From
hear
the
your
furry
voice, man.
convention, Jeebus? Look at
I
that.
missed
Are you a
you,
fucking
Jeebus.
furry? This
My
is why we're
girlfriend
doomed, society. Hey, London, I did a very good video on what's happening in London, by the way, with the Rothschild shit. You might want to check it out. But I listened to Axis Blood with his mumble
Get it back
jumble.
room. Put that back room. Put it back room. What you just talked. What you just said.
The Rothschild shit. I
Yeah.
did a video documentary on what's happening in London. You might want to
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah,
It's
put it in
really
the back
actually.
room. Put it in the back chat.
Oh, okay, I will. But I just want to say, says the guy wearing a furry hat and the guy Axe's blood who fucking's into this shit. We are fucking doomed as society. OTW is literally bragging about Vince McMahon as Vince McMahon is being looked in sex trafficking. Rob Cleveland is throwing up pedophile symbols like Tommy now. We got screenshots of Rob Cleveland throwing up the pedo symbol. Now,
Uh-oh.
see, you want to jack off your hand while you're wearing a hat looking like a fucking child. Like a fucking child, Jeebus, Chris.
Hold on.
But yeah, London,
That Rob
I did a
Cleveland.
really good documentary video. There's some shit going on in your area, bro. And it's because of transitions of power with the royal family and things to that nature and the Pope. I'll leave it in the back room. Check it out, London.
Show your ugly fucking troll ass face, dude.
Shut your fucking furry ass mouth and
Let's
go
see your
buy some
fucking
real
head
clothes,
here.
you dumbass. Act like a man. Quit looking like a fucking child. A 5-year-old wears that shit.
Go
My
crawl
fucking
up to your
10-year-old
dad's
wears that shit.
nutsack and use
You
it for
look
a
like
pillow,
a little
dude.
kid. Like a little kid wearing fucking little kid outfits.
Kid.
You look cool, dude. You look cool with your furry fucking hat.
Thanks, I know
But
I do.
hey, Real Optics London, you're in a fucking very hot area right now, London.
Yeah, there's a lot of crime over here at the moment. It's crazy.
Yes. And I didn't know if you saw my documentary we just put up because the Rothschild's death is very. And then you know about the two horses, the pale white horse, obviously, the London Mall.
No, what's that?
Okay, hold on. Let me grab it. I'm done with these little fucktards that really like fucking have nothing to do with optics. I'll send you real optics. But yeah, like a guy who's sitting here in a fucking children's fucking hat, fucking thinks he's fucking bringing anything to the table, and then access your mumble jumble fucking shit talk. I don't get it, dude.
I just came up to tell London that he was doing a really good stream today, and I was about to go to work, but I can sit here and work on you because you're a fucking bitch with your daddy, you and your daddy.
Uh-oh.
Heard you call a grown man daddy, dude.
Uh-oh.
You a kid?
Oh, daddy.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
look at you. Hey,
I'm
I'm
a kid,
not the
but you
one
call
wearing a
another
furry.
man
I'm not the
daddy.
one wearing a kid's hat. Where'd you get that at? The fucking, like, the children fucking section?
My
Like,
fiance
seriously, you're man and you want to act and talk your shit while you're wearing a fucking child hat. While you're wearing a fucking hat that makes you look like a fucking beta bitch. You can act all cool you want. You can
Beta
talk this
bitch.
shit. Like that.
Beta
Rob
bitch
Cleveland
calls
thinking
another
it's cute
man
like
daddy.
Tommy. Hey, here's
Hold
the
on,
deal.
wheel it in.
It's
Wheel it
not
in.
cute
Wheel it in.
throwing up
Hold on.
the universal
Wheel it in.
pedophile
Wheel it in.
symbols.
Rob Cleveland, let's go there. What did you just say about Rob Cleveland? I want to stick to that because this is irrelevant. Rob
Oh
Cleveland.
yeah, okay. Here's the thing. I got screenshots and everything. These people think it's cute to mock me because whether they want to believe me or not, the universal pedophile symbol, which Tommy was running around with, right now, Rob's throwing it up. Now, which is funny because these people are throwing up a calling card, which the FBI and everything knows is the universal symbol for pedophilia. But what's funny is Rob and them are doing this to make fun of me, But see, here's the thing: they're not thinking of the children being harmed, tortured, abused. They're actually throwing up calling cards for these pedos. Okay, so the pedos are probably like, yeah, So it's not cute, Rob Cleveland, for you to try throw up these pedo symbols, right? Trying to it's like this guy wearing this furry hat, trying to act serious when he's wearing a fucking kid shit.
Agree with you in my head, and you just fuck it all up by
Dude, you're wearing until you take that fucking child hat off. I have nothing to say to your bitch ass. You are a little kid fucking wearing a children's hat, acting like you're a fucking adult.
Same shit every fucking day, 20 million times a fucking day.
Hey, Rob, I put the documentary in your backstage. It's going on in your area, bro. In London, there's a lot of optics. Be safe, London. Be safe out there.
No doubt.
It's real. And like I said, I'm done with these fucktards, including Rob Cleveland. They think it's cute to mock pedophilia, okay? They think it's cute to mock me, okay? But they're putting out the universal symbol okay, which we all know, even the FBI. So, Rob, we will be sending your screenshots to proper channels, you know, whether you're involved or not, because at this point, I'm done with these fucktards, these guru fucks. That's why we're starting our own channel again and been doing our regular shit. I don't need to listen to fucking men wearing child hats on their head who fucking want to troll me or act like they're something.
I'm off that now anyway. But hey, thanks for that update, bro. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play
I
your
put
shit.
it in the
Play your
backstage,
shit.
but
Respect.
yeah, that's the biggest reason I came up here, man, is to let you know with what's going on in London.
There you go. Respect to that.
For sure. You stay safe, London. And all you little cupcakes that want to fucking say, oh, I'm on a loop. Nah, bro. Hey, flip me off. Look, more kid action. You're such an adult. You're such a big adult, Jeebus Crisp. Look at that. See, we are doomed as a society, man. Fucktards like this guy on the screen. Fucking doomed. Anyway, check it out, London. The optics are high. The Rothschild shit is high. I worked this documentary style video I put together is real shit. All these little wannabe panelists could kiss my fucking ass, including Daddy, when it comes to this shit. We put the truth, yo.
Say no more.
And start acting like an adult, dude. Quit. Like, what the fuck? Are you proud to wear fucking kid gear and look like a fucking doofus? Like, do you think that makes you look like a man? Do you think that's like do you think that's what men should represent themselves like, Jeebus? Joe Cool. Oh God. Is that Joe Cool that has a wife with the mole the size of Everest? Joe Cool needs to fucking get that mole on his wife's face fucking reduced. They have breast reduction. I'm
That's
sure they
enough.
have mole
All right,
reduction.
respect. That's enough now, Snaps. Thank you very much, brother.
All right,
Respect.
I'm out. Check out the documentary though, London, because the
Say
shit
no
going
more.
down in your area is lit right now. You, especially
no
with the
more.
royal family and the things going and the Pope and stuff happening. London, England, you guys will have a lot more optics, say with Australia and Canada, before it hits here in the mainland. And it's already starting. And what happened in London, which is in this documentary, which was like last week, is so significant. So check it out. I hope you do check the documentary out.
Say no more. Peace.
Let's snort some more Ritalin. God damn.
Hey, I was trying to unmute you, but it wouldn't allow me to unmute you on my end. It was saying you cannot
Right, look.
unmute this guy.
Look, I can wear whatever the fuck I want. It don't mean I'm less of a man or more than a fucking man. I don't have to prove my fucking manhood because some little fucking goblin, he looks like a fucking African hobbit, bro. He's a joke. He's a joke, dude. If he would just present himself in a more serious manner, maybe just slow down a fucking just a tiny bit. Because I agree with half the shit he says, but then he just says it over and over to the point where motherfuckers are memorizing it, like that song on the fucking radio that you can't stand, but you can't fucking not know it. You know what I mean? Because he just says it over and over and over. We get it, dude. The optics are fucking high. There's pedophiles out here. You know what? I got a childhood that I could talk all about, right? And I agree that people do need to be exposed. But making fun of somebody's fucking hat and then attaching them to some sort of a fucking narrative based on Aaron, bro, yeah, I'm wearing this hat because somebody made it for me, man, and I thought it was kind of fucking neat, and I just wanted to show it off. But it's not like I'm gonna go. Hey, you know what? And I've went to Walmart in this fucking hat. Big deal, dude. I don't fucking have to be a fake ass dude that's got to prove shit to everybody and their fucking mama. I don't have to go to every panel I go on and fucking promote my channel. Oh man, go check out my video because I did a video about the Rothschilds. So did 50 other million motherfuckers on YouTube, and they probably got 1,000 views.
Well, let me
Hey, should we
address
check it out?
London here for a second.
Should we check it out?
London,
Yes.
I'm gonna put this on you. It's your channel, and you control the weather in here. Now, like I said, whenever there are people that are open-minded and aware of these things, and they try to elude their captors, they're brought right back into the serpent state of mind. That's what happened here. You just witnessed it. And you opened the door for it.
Listen, I'm full aware of what I'm getting myself into when I open these doors.
No, I'm not saying anything bad or negative. I'm saying people were learning and they were aware of the energy that was flowing here with self understanding. The serpent, the seated mind, does not like that. And it will send dissidents at your door to disrupt, disturb, or stop that flow of energy and enlightened way of understanding yourself. You just got to be able to understand when to and when not to open the door.
Hey, London, I
But
got
that's on you.
man. Look, I just want to say, Snafu, you can lick my furry balls, dude. All right.
I want to see this little project that you got.
Now I'm kind of
Anyway.
interested because I do get into those subjects, but I'm sure someone else talked about it. So fuck you, Snaps. I'm unsubscribing from your channel anyway. So I show everybody love on these streets, dude. I even subscribed to Tommy's channel for a good minute. And his videos got, I don't know.
I don't have any problems with you, Jeebus, on my channel. You know, you always show up. You're respectful. You're mindful, and you're informative. I enjoy our interactions.
I might go subscribe to your channel just to show you some love because that's how we are, and that's what I do. And but I don't make fun of anyone's personal appearance. And yeah, I put this hat on just to show it off for this, just to show you guys something cool that somebody made for me. But just to target people like that, this is what this guy does. He goes around from panel to panel, and anytime someone doesn't agree with him, he fucking starts these narratives. It's just the same as his daddy. Like they all do the same bullshit.
Yeah, but listen, this is the thing. You can't even let it trigger you one bit. You see how I just dealt with him? I just let him come up, say what he's got to say, drop something in the back chat, and he's out. He's not. To be honest, it's not
a triggering thing. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
I know, but it's not disrupting my flow. I know how to take these people. I see them coming from a mile off. I know what they're about. So even when they're gone, I won't even be saying, who you let in your door. I'm fully aware of who I let in. You know what? If it was Bex that came into my door, I wouldn't have let her in because I know what type of damage she can do. You understand? But someone like Snaff, Mosquito, you understand? It's to me, it's all about discernment. I know people are going to say, yeah, but he disrupted. He disrupted. All right, fair enough, he did. But who doesn't? Who doesn't? Plus, he just came through. He dropped something. If he's really about truth, let's have a look what he presented.
Right, and I applaud you for passing the conch like you do. That's why I come here. That's why I support your channel so much. I don't. And this dude, he spins these narratives like I'm on the internet all day long and all this shit. It's not true, bro. I got a real life. I take care of my. But yeah. Whenever you're streaming, I do I like to jump in, say hi.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I don't stick around 5 minutes, but I just wish he's contradicting himself and he's being a fucking major hypocrite because this dude's calling people child. Now think about that.
Oh, boy.
And everybody in the chat, everybody agree, dude. Whether you like the guy or not, you can't deny that he's a child. And for him to call me a child, dude, when I'm holding my shit down, I want to know how many bills you pay, bro. I want to know how many mouths you feed. Because it seems like to me, you're the one that's always on the fucking internet all day long, sitting behind a fucking screen talking your shit.
Half of them do.
Don't be a hypocrite, bro. That's all. Just don't be a hypocrite. No, I'm not triggered. I'm not triggered. But I'm going to speak mine just like anybody else. And I'm not going to let somebody sit there and spin a narrative on me like fucking these clowns do. Like, they want people to jump in and agree with everything they say. It is cult mentality. I see it on a lot of big channels. We associated with a guy. He's got a huge channel now. He's growing bigger and bigger, and because of us. And I hear him talking about how he helps people and how he does this and spins these narratives about the people that don't agree with him. And whether I like him or not, dude, I don't just fucking talk shit about somebody based on what you said about them. Right? I'm going to find out for myself. And if I can't get to know him personally in any kind of way, then I'm just going to keep my opinion to myself. Because it doesn't matter what I think they do. I don't know for a fact. It's just a narrative. At some point, you got to realize that just because you believe something doesn't make it true, bro. And everyone else is not going to believe it just because you do. You got to do the research and know shit for yourself. Go in there and look at it on your own, man. Decide for yourself. Make your own opinions. Don't speak on the behalf of your fucking daddy.
Uh-oh. Daddy. You ever called another man daddy? Access or
Not even my dad, not even my father, bro. I've never used the word daddy to talk to another person.
My daughter calls me daddy when she was
that's
young.
understandable. Yeah, that's understandable. I think that my daughter called me daddy.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure my called me daddy at one point.
It was comforting to hear those words from her voice because it put me in a state of responsibility for another human's life and the respect for that human's life. I have a lot of admiration for my daughter.
There you go. My woman calls me daddy. That's about it. It's my daughter and my woman. Females.
But you know, if you have your own channel, then push your narrative there. Don't go around fucking pushing it on everybody else. Like, people didn't come here to hear fucking Snafu talk about conspiracy theories. They came here to kick it with fucking London and just fucking have a convo. It's not always got to be a fucking war on the metaverse, dude. I mean, I could care less whether the earth is flat or fucking round because I'm not leaving this bitch either way. You know what I mean?
Indeed. Hey, let's have a look at the little content he brought for us then. Let's see what he's about. Let's have a little look-see. 420 if you got that. Hope I don't get striked.
Life is nothing but illusions. And those illusions are up to us to decipher and discern what is the truth, yo. Ladies and gentlemen, the world stage is being set, the beast system is in play, and the optics are high. And that is the truth, yo. I'm Snafu Snaps, you guys are the Snafu crew, the glue, each and every one of you. And remember, the optics will continue.
What the fuck? Oh shit, I think we got something here. Let's have a look.
Ah, Snafu crew, the optics are high, the optics are high. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Rothschild, they are reporting, has passed away. Now, we know that the symbology, the central bank system, all the crazy optics with these people, including the satanic agendas in play, the New World Order, beast system world, lined with political countries around the world. We're going to look into some optics because there are some optics about certain elites that are either no longer with us, or they're saying are no longer with us, or things are happening. And again, it's not that I just want to show optics. I'm not no Q person. I'm not into all that. But what I am saying is there are optics in play. There is a transition of power. The world stage is being set. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this messaging, the things that are happening in the world stage, the optics are high and they're ramping up. Let's take a look at some messaging just in general, because again, this is transition of powers. This is New World Order minus Hulk Hogan, beast system optics in play, and it's in front of our faces for all to see. And the messaging is there. Just look for it.
Everything you touch, you kill. All the soap in the world won't wash away. All the blood that's on your hands is it to steal. Hey man, what's the use? There's no talking to you when you think it's God's words that you preach. From a book, summer road, like what you read. Hey man, what are you up to there? What's your game? What's going on? Something's wrong. Hey man, what are you up to? Hey man, you're the only one to play. There's blood on your hands, something's wrong. Hey man, what are you up to? Or have you just stopped your way and are too afraid to say everything you killed was in the name of man? Hey man, what's on your mind? Now that all your crimes have been erased by time, and all the land you say the world is what you stole, and all the people that you buried there are gone. Hey man, what are you up to there? What's your game? What's going on? Something's wrong. Hey man, what are you up to? Hey man, you're the only one to play. There's been blood on your hands for too long. Hey man, what are you up to? Or have you just stopped your way and are too afraid to say everything you killed was in the name of man?
1972, the Rothschild family organized a surrealist ball at their opulent chateau in France. Invitations were uniquely presented with a dress code typed backward. Black tie, long dresses, and surrealist heads. As guests arrived, servants and footmen, meowing and pawing at each other, lined the staircase at the entrance. Among the attendees, the iconic Audrey Hepburn, seen in a birdcage, participated in the event designed with the assistance of surrealist painter Salvador Dali. A vivid account of the ball includes descriptions of fur-covered plates, tables adorned with taxidermied tortoises, and food served on a mannequin corpse resting on a bed of roses. It's noteworthy that during the 19th century, the Rothschild family possessed the world's largest private fortune. In contemporary times, they remain subjects of various conspiracy theories and are known for maintaining a private lifestyle.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about these elites, remember keeping it in the family, the bloodlines, the optics are high. They're very into the ritualistic, pure blood, as they say, New World Order beast system agendas in play, but they've been telling you the whole time.
And Darren James has never been charismatic, the youngest of the five sons of Aaron from Rothschild. Gave an astonishing yet uninhibited description of the 19th century Rothschild policy of keeping it in that. In our family, we've always tried to keep love in the family. In this sense, it was more or less understood including the
The question of how and why the United Nations is the crux of the great conspiracy to destroy the sovereignty of the United States and the enslavement of the American people within a UN one-world dictatorship is a complete and unknown mystery to the vast majority of the American people. The reason for this unawareness of the frightening danger to our country and to the entire free world is simple. The masterminds behind this great conspiracy have absolute control of all of our mass communications media, especially television, the radio, the press, and Hollywood. We all know that our State Department, the Pentagon, and the White House have brazenly proclaimed that they have the right and the power to manage the news, to tell us not the truth, but what they want us to believe. They have seized that power on orders from their masters of the Great Conspiracy. And the objective is to brainwash the people into accepting the phony peace bait to transform the United States into an enslaved unit of the United Nations one world government. Is that our so-called leaders in Washington, whom we elected to safeguard our nation and our Constitution, are the betrayers, and that behind them are a comparatively small group of men whose sole objective is to enslave the whole world of humanity in their satanic plot of one world government. Now, as a matter of further intelligence, a term used by the FBI, let me clarify the meaning of the expression, "he is a liberal." The enemy, meaning the one world conspirators, have seized upon that word liberal as a cover-up for their activities. It sounds so innocent and so humanitarian to be liberal. Well, make sure that the person who calls himself a liberal or is described as a liberal is not in truth a red. Now then, this satanic plot was launched back in the 1760s when it first came into existence under the name of the Illuminati. This Illuminati was organized by one Adam Weishaupt, born a Jew, who was converted to Catholicism and became a Catholic priest, and then, at the behest of the then newly organized House of Rothschild, defected and organized the Illuminati. Naturally, the Rothschilds financed that operation. And every war since then, beginning with the French Revolution, has been promoted by the Illuminati, operating under various names and guises. In the United States, they set up what they called the Council on Foreign Relations, commonly referred to as the CFR. And this CFR is actually the Illuminati in the United States. And its hierarchy, the masterminds in control of the CFR, to a very great extent, are the descendants of the original Illuminati conspirators. But to conceal that fact, most of them changed their original family names to American-sounding names. For example, the true name of the Dillons, Clarence and Douglas Dillon, once Secretary of the U.S. Treasury Department, is Lepowski. There is a similar establishment of the Illuminati in England, operating under the name of the British Institute of International Affairs. There are similar secret Illuminati organizations in France, Germany, and other nations operating under different names. But at all times, the operations of these organizations were and are masterminded and controlled by the internationalist bankers, who in turn were and are controlled by the Rothschilds. Now, just why did the conspirators choose the word Illuminati for their satanic organization? Weishaupt himself said that the word is derived from Lucifer and means holders of the light, using the lie that his objective was to bring about a one-world government to enable those with mental ability to govern the world and prevent all wars in the future. In short, using the word peace on earth as his bait. Perhaps the most vital directive in Weishaupt's plan was to obtain absolute control of the press so that all news and information could be slanted, so that the masses could be convinced that a one-world government is the only solution to our many and varied problems. Now, do you know who owns and controls our mass communications media? I'll tell you, practically all the movie lots in Hollywood is owned by the Lehmans, Kuhn Loeb and Company, Goldman Sachs, and other internationalist bankers. All the national radio and TV channels in the nation are owned and controlled by those same internationalist bankers. In 1834, the Italian revolutionary leader Giuseppe Mazzini was selected by the Illuminati to direct their revolutionary program throughout the world. Mazzini had enticed an American general named Albert Pike into the Illuminati. Pike was fascinated by the idea of a one-world government, and ultimately he became the head of this Luciferian conspiracy. Between 1859 and 1871, Pike, worked out a military blueprint for 3 world wars and various revolutions throughout the world, which he considered would forward the conspiracy to its final stage in the 20th century. Long before Marconi invented radio, the scientists in the Illuminati had found the means for Pike and the heads of his councils to communicate secretly. It was the discovery of that secret that enabled intelligence officers to understand how apparently unrelated incidents, one such as the assassination of an Austrian prince at Sarajevo, took place simultaneously throughout the world, which developed into a war or a revolution. Pike's plan was as simple as it has proved effective. It called for communism, Nazism, political Zionism, and other international movements be organized and used to foment 3 global world wars and at least 2 major revolutions. World War III is to be fomented by using the so-called controversies the agents of the Illuminati, operating under whatever new name, are now stirring up between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Muslim world. That war is to be directed in such a manner that all of Islam and political Zionism, Israel, will destroy each other, while at the same time the remaining nations, once more divided on this issue, will be forced to fight themselves into a state of complete exhaustion, physically, mentally, spiritually, and economically. Now, can any thinking person doubt that the intrigue now going on in the Near, Middle, and Far East is designed to accomplish that satanic objective? Pike himself foretold all this in a statement he made to Mazzini on August 15, 1871. Pike stated that after World War III is ended, those who will inspire to undisputed world domination will provoke the greatest social cataclysm the world has ever known. Quoting his own words, taken from the letter he wrote to Mazzini, and which letter is now catalogued in the British Museum in London, England, he said, "We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a great social cataclysm which in all its horror will show clearly to all nations the effect of absolute atheism, the origin of savagery and of most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere, the people forced to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitudes disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will be from that moment on without direction and leadership, and anxious for an ideal but without knowledge where to send its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out into public view, a manifestation which will result from a general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Anyway, the ending of the Civil War destroyed, temporarily, all chances of the House of Rothschild to get a clutch on our money system, such as they had acquired in Britain and other nations in Europe. I say temporarily because the Rothschilds and the masterminds of the conspiracy never quit. So they had to start from scratch, but they lost no time in getting started. Shortly after the Civil War, a young immigrant who called himself Jacob H. Schiff arrived in New York. Jacob was a young man with a mission for the House of Rothschild. Jacob was the son of a rabbi, born in one of Rothschild's houses in Frankfurt, Germany. After a comparatively brief training period in the Rothschilds' London bank, Jacob left for America with instructions to buy into a banking house, which was to be the springboard to acquire control of the money system of the United States. Actually, Jacob came here to carry out 4 specific assignments. Number 1, and most important, was to acquire control of America's money system. Number 2, find desirable men who, for a price, would be willing to serve as stooges for the great conspiracy and promote them into high places in our federal government, our Congress, in the U.S. Supreme Court, and all federal agencies. Number 3, create minority group strife throughout the nations, particularly between whites and blacks. Number 4, create a movement to destroy religion in the United States, but Christianity to be the chief target. In the final phases of the conspiracy, the one world government will consist of the king dictator, head of the United Nations, the CFR, and a few billionaires, economists, and scientists who have proved their devotion to the great conspiracy. All others are to be integrated into a vast conglomeration of mongrelized humanity, actually slaves.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know about the owl and the optics. Think of Randonautica and the, what do you call it, quantum physics technology being used. But again, also Bohemian Grove. The owl is symbolic, okay? And with this death of, or supposed death of Rothschild, right, we've noticed some very symbolic messaging as of late. Let's take a look. This was just a few days. Now, again, he died, and supposedly 3 days later is when they released information of his death. But let's look at some optics.
An eagle owl flew through New York for over a year, but now Flacco has died, according to the Central Park Zoo. He probably crashed into a building. According to the report, employees of the Wildlife Rescue Service WBF recovered his body.
Is it coincidental that a famous owl all of a sudden dead, and in the reports had blood under one of the eyes, so one-eyed, so to speak? Interesting optics. Now, if you guys remember the 2 horses, the white horse, the pale horse story, religiously in scriptures, well, check this out. This is interesting. All right, I feel this was important to cover because it's going to deal with the political and the whole Q bullshit and all this weird shit you're seeing with intelligence and data collection and the whole world. Transition of powers mixed with the religious aspect and the ritualistic symbology that we're all witnessing. And I thought this post was appropriate, even if I don't agree on certain things like the whole Anon and all that, but they're witnessing the optics. So reptilian overlord and head of the Rothschild cabal central banking system, Jacob Rothschild, is announced dead today, which is also the 13th February on the Julian calendar. The Rothschilds own nearly every single central bank on the earth. Okay? Q lists the names of Rothschild central banks in the drops. A few days ago, DJT posted on Instagram a picture of China Joe in a head cone. Then on the same day, Sky News reported that King Tampex is laughing at Get Well card with a dog in the head cone, which was dog comms. The dogs have their day. Now, again, the whole Q thing, I believe, is a psyop in itself. Okay, a news source propaganda in its own terms. Okay, we won't get into that. Again, this is not my post; it's someone else's, but it deals with the optics and play of the transitions that you're witnessing. Then it says, someone in chat has mentioned that a white horse, which we're going to show you, paraded on the mall in London yesterday, which was huge, okay? People don't see that, the King's Horse in London or whatever. But anyways, it says, behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat upon it was Death, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. One of the horsemen that were parading yesterday was holding a black flag wrapped around a pole. Apparently, this only comes out when there is a death. This last time was seen was Queen Lizard when she had her funeral in 2022, they said. Also, they talk about the owl, which we covered. Now, this is important, right? All these people, okay, and this is just a small list, right, that are no longer here or dying recently, right? Blah, 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 blah. And there's more on that list, like Harry Kissinger, Feinstein, all these other people like going down or shit's happening or being exposed, all right? But remember, we saw a lot of the resistance with Anne Heshaway, Isaac Cappy, the whole war in Ukraine, sex trafficking, all this other weird stuff, blah, blah. We're going to go into it. All right. The Zionist optics are high. Anyways, remember the Rothschilds were personally.
Yo. Jeebus, I just seen your message in the chat. Is he still there? Oh, yes. You're muted. You're muted.
Bad. Yeah, I was saying I got to roll out and get to work. And for Snafu, that's good content, man. I'm pretty sure everybody's hip to this. But yeah, it needs to be, people need to see this shit if they don't already know about it. Washington, D.C. is freaking full of ancient Egyptian symbolism. And they believe that they're freaking, when they inaugurate the president, that they're like trying to bring back the god Osiris in human form, and everything. So it's good shit. It's good content. He's got me blocked, by the way, so I can't just go watch it. And I don't the whole thing now. So, but big push up on that Snafu. With the bully optics and the name calling, and yeah. But pull up on it, bro. London, I'm out, man. Good stream.
Nice
Take
one,
care,
bro.
Jeebus.
Hey, you too,
Much love.
Rambo. Much love, brother.
Peace out. Brother Jeebus. Good guy. Good guy. How you feeling, Nexus?
I'm hanging in there, brother.
Good stuff. I don't think I've asked in a little while. Situation with your son. How is things going?
Pretty good, actually. The only thing we're waiting on is the ballistics, and once the ballistics come back, he's probably going to be exonerated and freed. They have no actual evidence, forensic. They don't have any. There is contradictions within the witnesses' statements. So they don't know exactly who shot the guy. And it boiled down to them pointing the finger at my son, which come out in the discovery. So once the ballistics come back from the state, he'll probably be walking free, and they're going to have to deal with a murder case and some serious issues that they've pulled in on themselves concerning my son. Just a shame it took 6 months for them to get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame. See, the innocent man has to sit down for a while these bloody wrong'uns just walk free all day long.
Well, I'm hoping, and in the long term that this has been beneficial to my son and doesn't turn him into a more resentful animal than he already was, because there's nothing worse than going to jail and being innocent. Been there, didn't like it. And being pounded with something as ferocious as this, and then to come to find out that there was such a lacking of evidence and only people's statements that put him in there. Yeah, that was a real eye opener.
Well,
because
sorry, no, sorry, keep going, please, keep going.
Well, my mom, out of guilt, depleted her financial stability, her retirement. The emotional trauma that I've had to go through with this, dealing with this every day, up and down, and the new light of the situation being they have no forensics evidence. This is all based off of people's statements that he was at the scene. Has really devastated more than just his life. It's devastated his sister's life, my mom's life, her son's life, mine. You know, it's just, and you know what recourse comes for this, I'm hoping can only be positive and beneficial.
Mm-hmm. Good news though, man. He's coming home. That's brilliant news. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really heartbreaking to think, you know, and even entertain the thought that my son would do something like that. But then once it came to the you know, the lawyers and their investigation, the state, their investigation, and the discovery, and found out they were holding him off of witness statements, but they didn't see him do anything. They just said he was there. I thought they had to have something more substantial to hold a person on, especially for a charge like that, than just somebody saying, well, it's a couple people that said, yeah, they seen him at the building.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I try not to entertain that openly too much anymore.
Got you.
You know, because the minute he walks out of that jailhouse, I have retribution to implement on a lot of people that had loose lips.
You
got to remember, London, I walk both sides of the track. I never claimed that I was positive by nature. I am both light and dark. And
Indeed.
You will get from me that which you provoke out of me. And I am in the dark, and I am waiting like a coiled snake to dance the entourage on these people with such small minds, limited possibilities, and foul tongues.
Bro, I mean, for what it's worth, I feel like I kind of like came from the darkness. You know, with the mind state that I used to have, and then I'm here in the light now.
I transcend back and forth from the dark to the light. I don't limit myself. You know, if there's something that I need that is within the dark, then I'm going to go retrieve that, and I'm going to utilize it. And if there's something I need in the light, I'm going to go retrieve that and utilize it. You know, the minute you shut out one perspective of the full scale of things, then you have limited possibility. And I am not one for limiting possibility. Possibility is the foundation for new creation.
Mm. I'm gonna shut this bad boy in about 5 more minutes or so. Got any final words for the folks down there?
I just appreciate you letting me up there, brother, and I appreciate you letting me come across with my ramblings and the madness that is me. And I thank the chat for tolerating and listening to my ramblings. So, New River London, you always have a good show. You always have a good atmosphere, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good stuff, my man. I appreciate you. Thanks for jumping up. Good vibes always, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You have a great platform. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Much love. Much love, Axis. Catch you on the flip side. Good stuff. There you go. There you go. Let me just roll this one real quick. Give me a second. Bear with me 1 sec.
Ain't gonna be nothing changing.
I'm back in the building. Yes, sir. I'm back in the building. Back in the building. So how you guys feeling out there, man? Thank you for rocking with me, man. We had Brother Tal caught up here earlier. We had a little talk, you know. Good little build. Jeebus, Axis. Good stuff. We had the one Snap You Snaps up in the building. You know how that gets. I'm prepared for these things, right? I'm prepared for these things. But hey, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. You already know. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get that F out of here, right? I want you to look after yourself. And remember, love over war, right? Right? Love over war. If possible, if possible. On that note, much love.
Sometimes I think about dying. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of death in my life. I've seen a lot of friends die. I've seen a lot of family members die. When I think about dying, I think about a sense of release. Just release from all the pressures and all the negativity. I also think about finally getting a chance to see all the loved ones again that left before me. That'll be kind of fly. Walk through the gates, see my grandmother, see Big, see God. Shit is crazy. I've never been afraid to die, but I know I don't want to die. Not just yet, anyway. I feel like I got a lot more living to do. A lot of unfinished business. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I know